Hey, it's Dustin, and I've noticed an uptick in hater comments on my videos about using AI to write books. I'll put some of them on the screen here that you can see about like destroying creativity and how I'm destroying art and all this kind of stuff. So I'm just going to go through and kind of like address some of these concerns in this video and talk about what I think about these kinds of comments. First of all, I think it's weird that people are like watching videos about AI just to hate on them, but I guess this is the internet. That's what people do. So first concern that I'll address, people are saying you're not a writer because you're not actually writing. AI is doing all the work for you. So I've been a freelance writer as my full-time job for 7+ years now. Before ChatGPT was ever a thing, I had written hundreds of thousands of words per year for my clients without using any kind of AI, and I still do that. I've also written multiple fiction and nonfiction books without the use of AI before ChatGPT was even out. A lot of these people that are accusing AI writers of not being real writers have likely not finished a whole book of their own or not done any meaningful amount of writing, creative or not. So they're just kind of haters. That's what I've figured at this point. So rest assured, I feel like I've done an above average amount of writing, both creative writing and nonfiction or technical writing, whatever you want to call it. Probably several million words worth at this point in my career. I don't know why I'm air quoting career. It's a career, or like just my life of writing. So I'm just out here trying to provide you guys with the best information when it comes to writing, AI, ChatGPT prompts, and everything on the cutting edge of technology. So if you appreciate what I do, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment saying, I won't let the haters win. We're at like 953 subscribers, I think, right now, and I would love to hit 1,000 by the end of October. So let's go. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that. But point number 2, people saying AI ruins creativity. So for me, I find AI really helps with creativity. It provides prompts and new plot ideas that I otherwise wouldn't have thought of. AI is like having a room full of co-writers that you can like whiteboard and spitball crazy ideas with. Then obviously you as the main writer, it's up to you to take the good ideas and then make them into something worthwhile. I usually come back to the analogy of painting versus cameras when it comes to this like ruining creativity idea. So I imagine that back in the day when photography was first invented, people had similar arguments that cameras were stealing work from painters. They required no effort to use. It's just point and click. You can imagine all the kind of arguments between the painters and the photographers back in the day. But I think it'd be hard to find somebody today that would argue that great photographs aren't art. There's so much professional stuff that goes into like high quality photography that you have to take into account, like composition, color balance, lighting, shutter speeds, perspective, and so much more. And I bet that didn't stop a bunch of butthurt painters back in the day who were put out of work by the photograph from complaining instead of adapting. And that's ultimately it when it comes to AI too. You can either adapt and use AI or you can be replaced by it. That's it. It's your choice. The next concern people have is that all AI content is stolen. So AI does kind of like draw from basically everything that's on the internet up to 2021, as far as ChatGPT 3.5 at least goes. But I find that once you get a bit older, you start to realize there's not really any such thing as a creative story that's like original stories or anything else. Like look at a lot of the music on the radio today. They constantly reuse beats and lyrics from older songs or like covering older songs. I don't know if you've heard of a little company called Disney, but pretty much all of their stories are just remakes of old folk tales that are probably royalty free at this point. Like you've got The Little Mermaid is just a Hans Christian Andersen story. The Lion King is based on Shakespeare's Hamlet. Mulan comes from an ancient Chinese poem. Pocahontas was an actual historical figure. And of course, Hercules is just straight up stealing Greek mythology. And when it comes to stories, there's also something called the hero's journey that once you learn about storytelling, you realize that it's in pretty much every story out there from Star Wars to The Hobbit. So you've got like the call to adventure, refusal of the call, meeting a mentor, crossing a threshold. Pretty much every great story that you've read or every movie that you've watched features this framework. And I also use it in all of my own novels as well when I'm using AI, I specifically give it like the steps of the hero's journey, and I tell it what I want it to have in all of those sections. And then the last point is that AI does all of the work. And I think I've shown with like my AI music and AI game dev videos that simply having ChatGPT and AI tools doesn't mean that you can automatically create masterpieces in whatever medium you want. AI is just a tool. It's like a ship or an airplane. It still needs a knowledgeable captain who knows how to use and steer it. Like, sure, you can put a random person in the captain's chair and maybe they might even get it to move, but they won't be able to use it masterfully or efficiently or the best way that it's designed for. And the problem is that lay people and haters don't really understand the work and talent that goes into great storytelling, I feel like. They think that all you do is you put a prompt into ChatGPT and then it spits out a finished book. And while technically you could do that, the result would obviously be garbage. I think there probably are people on Amazon that have done that. I feel bad for anybody that reads their books if they're just churning out crap books that take one day to write 10,000 words and they just publish it. But I don't know. But yeah, so you can't just prompt it and have like a masterpiece come out. Maybe in the future we'll be at that point with AI, but we're certainly not there today. But a good writer with years of experience can use AI to really cut down on the time it takes them to create a great work. It frees up a lot of the mental bandwidth and coming up with like the more tedious parts of the story. But if there isn't a great overall story and plot that you're weaving into it, the end result isn't going to be any good. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to say to all the AI haters. Rather than like responding with paragraphs, I'll just point them to this video now, I guess. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Do you think I'm a hack and I'm just cheating by using AI? Or is it like a legitimate way to tell stories and it's the way of the future? Or do you fall somewhere in between? Like maybe you should use AI for editing or just kind of like brainstorming ideas, but then when it comes to write, you should actually do all the dialogue and writing on the story. I don't know. So let me know in the comments what you think, and I will see you in the next video.